Welcome, weary travelers, to the first episode of Forged Empire. I'm Cameron Holt. I'll be your game master for the series. I'm joined, as always, by the intrepid Arcana crew.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's go around and tell us who you are and who you're playing.
I'm McCall Clark, and I'm playing Baldruderick Velar.
I'm Sam, and I'm playing Sprue.
I'm Matt, and I'm playing Felix.
I'm Josh, and I'm playing Errant.
This is the first episode of our long-form campaign using Daggerheart. Yay! I'm excited, so we're going to go ahead and roll that intro and hop right in. And then an intro will play. The battle was hardly over before the carrion creatures set upon the dead. Ravens, vultures, and wild dogs raced with healers and body collectors to pull the bodies from the field. The Whispering Woods are true to their namesake as the wind rustles through the leaves, but it's nearly drowned out by the screams and moans of the wounded, as well as the incessant cawing of the crows and ravens. We see a hardened woman who is bloodied and scarred. She shoots a clot of blood from her nose, still winded from the battle, as she cleans blood from a golden blade with folds of black. She's got black hair, peppered gray, and black armor with a golden anvil on the chest, sparking like it's been struck. The crest of the King of Trove and all of the Forged Empire. A man approaches wearing the same uniform. He's got close cropped hair on the sides that's a little bit longer on top, plastered to the side of his face with sweat. Damn rebel factions. War's won nearly 2 centuries past. You'd think they'd give up by now. And the woman responds, there are many alive still today who would not soon forget it. Clearly, he says. Their conversation is cut short as the crying of an infant sounds from nearby. They share a look before both rushing towards the sound. At the lowest valley of the clearing, where blood has filled and mucked what was once a healing spring, a baby floats atop the back of a lifeless soldier, floating in the spring that healers tended for generations. Sam, can you describe what the baby looks like, please?
Yeah. The baby has little goat-like legs and feet that are like dark in color in the way that like a German Shepherd is dark, where it's kind of tan and black. She has like a lot of curly dark hair, kind of just on the top of the head right now. And when she like kind of looks around and blinks, she has like big, dark, glassy eyes. When she cries, it kind of sounds like multiple tones.
Spooky. The woman wades into the muck of the spring and quickly lifts the child, looking around confused. As she does, from underneath the child, a small sun-bleached skull that doesn't look like it was harvested from anyone in this particular battle, based on how clear of gore it is, hovers for a moment in the air before her. She kind of like takes a step back and almost reaches for her sword, pulling the baby away to the side, and its jaw chatters as it speaks.
Two are born once more, as balance restores from the great maze.
The man standing nearby on the bank of the glade speaks out.
A witch, but born of the battle of the healing glade.
The woman steps out, wading out from the water, and walks up next to him.
I know not, Captain.
He looks at her for a moment,
You know the Forged King's decree.
and slowly begins drawing a dagger. She looks up at him with tears in her eyes, and he's taken aback at that.
With all due respect, Captain Stolid, I'm through with killing. I've seen enough blood for 3 lifetimes. If we,
And she like places a hand on his chest.
ever meant anything, you'll let her live.
He falters for a moment before reaching up and pulling a golden pendant from around her neck. He steps over to a body nearby and places the pendant around its neck before turning to her.
The cave's not far. Head southwest, with haste. With haste, Lady Nell, go!
He turns as she begins taking steps back and holds out a palm which glows white hot and vibrates before sending a blast of energy into the corpse's head, then another and another until the face of the dead is unrecognizable. Lady Nell holds the baby close and disappears into the thick trees of the Whispering Wood. The Forged Empire of Miro. 6 dominions, either conquered or annexed under the mighty rule of Forged King Hallow, King of Trove, and the ruler of the Forged Empire. In the frigid north, Frost Timber is home to Dracona, as fearsome as they are respectful. At the heart of the Forged Empire is Galena, the Grand City, an entire dominion separated into districts where anyone with enough wealth can thrive and rule over the poverty-stricken masses. In the west, within the Whisperwood, hides Grotazan, the subterranean city where master metalsmiths craft beautiful trinkets and weapons of war. To the southeast is the arid dominion of Katash, where the people toil by day in the crystal caverns below, and by night collect the fallen gems that rain from the sky in the desert above. Further south from Katash, within the barren Badlands, is a marvel of the mesas, Aethra, the city of the Clanks, where few beings that need food and water can live or survive. 18 years later, in New Old Town of Galena, the Grand City, we see crowded streets of people rushing to and fro between timber-framed buildings, 3 and 4 stories high, each growing closer and closer to the other with each story that goes up and blocks the light rain that falls outside. Down the street, we see a wall of timbers lashed together, blocking off the end of the street. Its base is covered in parchment notes, paintings, flowers, and other offerings to the sick quarantined within. On a street corner nearby, we see a small restaurant with crawling vines up one side and a wooden sign hanging from an iron anchor hook. Outside, a human man dressed in rags holds a sign that reads, "The Great Maze rejects us," as he yells at passers-by about the impending doom coming to Miro. Matt, what is the name of your character's restaurant?
Ooh, what a great question that I wish I had thought of earlier. We're gonna call it The Secret Ingredient.
Love that. Inside, a quaint space seats 20 to 30 people at a time, and there are delicious soups, perfectly charred meats, and decadent desserts adorning each table as people dig in and converse with one another and chat as life continues on. Through a stone archway, we see a busy kitchen, inside of which, Matt, can you describe your character and what he's preparing in this moment?
So you'll see a human who, in the light of the kitchen, looks like they might have pale lavender skin, long hair, tied up in the back, and you see them preparing some sort of like razor clams in like a really rich sauce. Just
Hell yeah.
working the.
Yeah.
That's gonna look weird.
As you work it,
you know.
Rich cream, baby.
as you prepare it, you do a couple of tosses and then hold it over the flame, a couple more tosses. Let's make the first roll of the game. Make a finesse roll to see how this meal turns out.
Hope for the best. Would I be able to use my experience, art breathes life into a grim world for like food?
Yeah, I like that.
So I combine them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then tell me which die rolled higher, fear or hope.
13 with fear.
13 with fear. Excellent. I will gain fear. But 13 is good. There's a moment as you're holding and tossing where a little bit of the brandy that you've put in to deglaze with them slips out into the fire of the stove beneath and catches, but you quickly gain control of it and step back and just use it as a flambe. And seconds later, you see as all of the razor clams begin to pop open, indicating that they are ready. And you very quickly stifle the flame.
God mia.
As stepping through the archway is a full goblin who's got long, straight hair, black, that looks not greasy, but it's just that kind of straight hair texture that looks very flat. He's got a scar under one eye, and he's wearing a nice little, almost tux. He's got a vest on over a white shirt and black trousers pulled up. As he steps in, you know this to be Chum, your head waiter.
Oi, boss. There's a lass here asking if we do catering. She insists she needs to talk to you directly.
Yes, send her back.
Excellent.
And he goes out a moment later. A woman enters, and I would like for you to pick a card.
Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. That one.
Oh, very interesting. Tall and slender, dressed in oddly all white, sort of pantsuit almost, is an orcish woman who's got a sort of pale greenish cast to her skin and two tusks that jut up from her bottom jaw as she steps back. Hello, my name is Brea Lursk. Are you Felix, I presume, the proprietor of this establishment?
That is correct.
Wonderful. I wonder if we might have a private conversation. Is there somewhere that you prefer to do so?
Follow me this way.
You lead her back into a back room. As you enter and lead her in, close the door behind you, she's like, I understand this is not proper protocol, but there is an opportunity arising that is potentially groundbreaking. I need to know if you're serious about your work and the cause.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. And she reaches into a satchel at her side and pulls out a small scroll and hands it to you. As you unfold it, there's a skillful drawing of a fungrel who seems to have his mushroom-like cap kind of curls back at the edges and has this almost glossy sheen to it, like it looks wet at the ends. A smooth, noseless face and a sort of downturned frown. Tomorrow, this fungrel, Caspian Heidebeck, will be delivering a parcel to Overlord Waldus Waldorf's office in Old Town. It is imperative that this parcel be recovered before it reaches its destination, and the body never found. If you perform sufficiently in this task, your payment will be delivered here during business hours, and there will be another job to follow. Do you accept?
I'll take the scroll and nod.
She nods and she's like, pleasure doing business. And you open the door for her and lead her out. As you're going back to the kitchen, you hear that there's a commotion at the front of the shop.
What is the meaning of this?
Yeah, stepping out into the dining room, the man from outside, sign still strapped over his shoulders, bursts through the front window of the restaurant. Shattered glass scatters over the ground. You see black veins crawl up his neck to his frothing mouth, and blood vessels in his eyes have burst to red sclera, and his pupils are so dilated that his eyes look almost entirely black. Someone in the restaurant screams, "It's carrion! He's got the carrion plague!" The undead man in rags tackles a woman to the floor and bites down on her fingers as she tries to push him away. What do you do?
I'm gonna grab my skillet. Well, I'm gonna slide the clams off of it onto a plate. And
Yeah,
then
perfectly plated.
Yeah.
You do a little sprinkle of salt.
Parsley.
Then I'll run over and try to clobber the infected
Hell yeah.
person with it.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
It's not my best trait with what I'm working with here, but it's what I've got handy. That's a 7 with hope.
7 with hope. You gain a hope. You rush over, and as you swing to hit this thing right in the head, it tucks down the woman's. You see as it's like bit through her fingers, her grasp slips, and it actually goes down and starts tearing at her neck just as your hand whiffs over the head. You rolled with hope. I'm going to spend a fear, and it's going to make another attack on the woman. Yeah, and you see as it clamps down on her neck and just tears. You can see like tendons pull before they snap as it pulls back, and then spits them to the side. It doesn't like consume or anything.
Is there any? Is there like steak knives on the table placements?
100%. Yeah.
I'm gonna drop the skillet and I'm gonna grab one of the steak knives and try to shank him with it.
Hell yeah. Go ahead and make another attack roll.
10 with hope.
10 hits.
I'd like to use an ability that I have, my first class feature. I won't say what it is, but I think you probably know what it is. I only have 2 class features.
Is this a subclass?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, this is like main class feature.
Oh, gotcha.
It's going to let me make it so that any attacks I make against that target gain a bonus to damage equal to 1d4 per tier. So like 1d4.
Excellent.
An extra 1d4
Hell yeah.
at this point. 9 damage.
Excellent. You rush forward, and do you want to describe what it looks like as you take out this undead creature?
With the steak knife in hand, I do a quick evaluation of its form. Because different species have their organs in different places, and figuring out generally what species it is, I just aim directly for where its heart should be.
Yeah,
Just plunge
you identify the
right
different
there.
cuts.
Yeah.
And yeah, straight through the shoulder into the heart. The creature bellows and lets out a howl before falling to the side. At about this time, as the body falls to the side, the woman is like clutching her hand and like holding her now missing 2 fingers you see on the end up to her neck to try and stop the bleeding as she's just kind of sputtering there on the floor. A group of guards arrive. These are not the city guard of Galena. You know these to be Magister Knights. They work directly for the King of Trove. They sort of act as judge, jury, and executioner to keep the peace among the different dominions of the Forged Empire. As they rush in, they're like, what's the meaning of this? What is the hubbub here? And like look in, take in the situation. You see there's 4 of them. One of them who seems to be sort of like the leader in charge. He's got more armor than the others. Looks around, sees the woman on the floor, and he's like, another infection. Collect her. And 2 of his knights go forward and grab the woman. You see they put manacles on her and hoist her up and start taking her out of the restaurant. It's like, has anyone else been bitten or attacked or infected?
No, I got lucky with the steak knife. And,
Good work. Are you the proprietor of this business? I'm sorry to say, as is the rules of the quarantine, because there was an incident here, you will have to close down for a number of weeks while we investigate and ensure that there was no, infection of the foods or preparations that you make.
No, he didn't get into the kitchen. He was just...
I understand, but it is the law. And as you groan and...
I looked to see if the person that they took away left their bag or anything. Because they haven't paid yet.
Oh yeah, they hadn't. Make an instinct roll.
Okay. That's a 7 with fear.
7 with fear. You see that they did leave their bag behind, but you also see as the guard like looks around, looks down, and takes notice of it. And there's like a moment as you guys like both get eyes on the bag and then like slowly look up and make eye contact with each other, and he like raises an eyebrow.
I'll motion toward the bag and the lady.
Yeah, he stoops down and picks it up and slings it over his shoulder. He's like, we will be sending some agents by to make sure that the quarantine is properly observed. You should close down for the day. Everyone, this establishment is hereby closed until further notice. and a lot of people kind of like groan and complain. There's some people who were like really freaked out by this, and others who were just like going about their meals. It's not super commonplace, but it's in certain areas of town, it's a little bit more common than others. And as you stand there thinking about what a financial loss this is going to be, you hope that your upcoming job will pay dividends.
I'll never financially recover from this.
We move far to the north. Massive spire-like mountains covered in snow as almost blizzard-like conditions whip around a city that seems carved almost into the mountains themselves. We enter not quite a fortress, but a firm keep that is at the peaks of one of these smaller mountains. The mountain range itself almost resembles that of like the lower jaw of some sort of massive creature, the way that the spires are organized. And within, we see as a fire roars in a massive hearth. Through a window with diagonal crossed muntins, we see heavy snow falling outside, and a young Dracona boy stares out the window longingly as sleds zip down the adjacent mountainside at breakneck speeds. McCall, would you please describe your character?
You see a Dracona boy who's about teenage years and has a long, slender snout, green scales, small red horns peeking up. The clothing looks casual, but upon closer inspection, you'd see that it's kind of tailored and of nicer fabrics. And I think that they're like looking out the window. Sigh. It fogs up the glass. Just looking out, watching the sledding.
There's a knock at the door.
I will go to answer it.
Which of Rudy's parents view him more favorably?
Probably Mom.
You open the door to see your mother standing there, as well as two attendants. Your mother is very tall, especially compared to Rudy, quite tall. She is slender though, and has this sort of like elongated neck and a lot of like very gentle S curves to her body. Very sleek look to her. Two attendants join her, an older human man with a long mane of orange-red hair and a young girl about your age. And I'd like you to pick a card.
It's orc again.
It is an orc again. I'm gonna take that one out. Do another draw.
I'm getting all orked up over
This
here.
whole world is
Or conspiracy.
All orked up. Don't know what
Oh,
to do.
interesting.
Third
Pull
orc.
another card.
How did that get in here? Yeah, I'll set the ones that we've already drawn aside. This is a young girl around your age, actually an elven girl. She, I don't want to presume Rudy's interest in any one thing or the other, or person or the other, but this is a young girl who I think even at the ripe young age of 17, correct,
Yes.
Rudy? Even at the ripe young age of 17, Rudy is aware that this girl is interested in him, but is one of your family's attendants.
A blush kind of creeps along the scales and into the nose, and a little bit of smoke comes out.
Yeah, and she notices this and kind of like smiles and sheepishly looks down as well. Your mother steps in.
I've been thinking about what you said, and I think you're right. You're 17 now, nearly a man, and your father and I have decided you'll ride with your brother Rupendriet in the deluge.
She's like vibrating with excitement.
But not without this.
She steps aside and you see the two attendants standing behind your mother carrying a small chest, which they place on the ground. And your mother turns and undoes a lock and opens the chest to reveal a beautiful set of armor. What does it look like?
Holy cow, it's amazing. I think it's like the sleek black with silver and like white lining that kind of highlights all of the very tailored edges. What would it be made of?
That depends on what kind of armor it is, I guess. Let's see.
Carbon fiber.
Yeah.
It's
Fiberglass.
page 126, if you want to look through those and see which type of armor you would prefer to take. If you go with chainmail or plate, it would be made of titanium, as there is no steel or iron in this world.
What a terrible oversight in its creation by the gods. Oh shit, we forgot iron.
Maybe if we don't give them the means to create effective weapons, they won't want to kill each other.
We blew it.
Yeah, I think it'll be leather armor, so that it's like slightly lighter, it's more for like nimble situations and speed.
Yeah, that makes excellent sense. I love that. As the two attendants, the older human man you know to be named Damon, and the young girl you know as Paya, started fixing the armor to you, it is a perfect fit. As Paya is close and affixing your pauldron, what does her perfume smell like?
I'm gonna say like jasmine.
That's nice.
This soft, kind of sweet floral smell.
Yeah, and I think you get another little bit of a flush and just the faintest little trill of smoke from your nostrils as you catch
To
the
like
scent.
puff out my chest and like pretend nonchalant.
Yeah, you like puff out your chest, and then Damon, the man, like tightens the the leathers on the other side.
Like putting a saddle on a horse.
Your mother comes over once the armor is affixed, and there's like a tall floor-length mirror in the room that you can kind of like stand and admire, and you catch Paya kind of looking you up and down from behind in the mirror as you're also getting a view.
Oh, go on now. How's it look?
Like you were born for it, kiddo. And she kind of like punches the shoulder.
Yeah, I think I was.
Now, remember, Balrudric, there can be no glory if you do not make haste down the mountain. Be swift, be strong. He who favors the ice gains the ice's favor. Pats you on the shoulder. As you stand there, seeing yourself in the armor that you've waited your whole life to adorn, what's going through Rudy's mind?
I think it's like just screaming excitement. Just like, yes, finally. Oh, God, I've been waiting so long for this. I swear to God, it's going to be the best part of this whole fucking life of mine. I'm going to be the best at the deluge.
Hell yeah. Our vision pulls once more out the window and quickly across from the snowy mountains, which the snow gives way to grass and trees, which give way to rolling hills. And then we see the city of Galena overhead, which is an impossibly large city. Literally the entire dominion of Galena is one city separated into different districts. We pass over that into farmlands, which give way to an arid desert with a harsh cutoff. We pass over Katash, the city of the desert below, nomadic peoples who move from place to place, further and further south until the sand bleeds to red, and we see mesas that jut up from tawny sands, specks of green and red copper ore that striate the layers of rock. Atop one mesa in this unforgiving arid landscape is a brilliant city of red stone and copper-domed buildings that loom at the top of a complex lift system. Josh, how many moons shine in the sky above?
3.
Always 3, huh?
Is it always 3?
74.
Oh my God.
With swaths of stars overhead and much of the city asleep, they recharge for the coming day. Even Aethra, the city of light and the dominion of the Clanks, must sometimes rest. At the center of the mechanical city sits a grand library filled with collected knowledge and home to the city's core. Its doors have been roped and cordoned off to the public, but that doesn't stop 3 figures that have just slipped inside. We see 3 Clanks who couldn't look more varied from one another. One is tall and elegant with willowy limbs. The other's short and rotund with claw-like appendages at the ends of his arms. And the third is broad and sturdy with 4 legs that are reminiscent of a almost spider-like centaur. Each has a sack flung over a shoulder as they approach the city's core. We can see parts of the metallic floor within the library, and walls have corroded with this blue speckled patina that slowly creeps across their surfaces. unseen to the observing eye, the movement, but with each passing day, the corrosion goes a little bit further. The trio keep their distance from these sections of floor, eyeing them warily. We see massive rings of copper, brass, and silver that slowly rotate gyroscopically around a huge moat of silvery blue light, with occasional shocks of arcane energy that flash out from the surrounding rings into the core itself, striking light at the center and keeping it pulsing steadily. We see that the occasional arcane flash is much deeper, almost a violet blue. The tall Clank speaks. "The corruption continues to spread. I fear that the core may soon be compromised." And the small, rotund one speaks up. "Soon. Observe and recalculate. The corruption of the core is well underway, Seraph." The third speaks up. "I concur with Reverie's assessment. I only hope that our efforts are not too late." The tall one, Seraph, speaks. "Reverie and myself have chosen our dedications to be passed on. Have you made your decision, Bastion?" Bastion is quiet for a moment before saying, "Indeed." They carefully arrange the contents of their satchels into a humanoid shape on the floor. We see bolts tightened and plates affixed as a new Clank is constructed quickly but thoughtfully. There it lays with its chest cavity open. A small orb that looks like glass is produced as each of the three Clanks etch a word into a copper band. The tall, elegant Clank Seraph writes Zeal. The short, round Clank Reverie writes Wonder. And finally, the broad, strong Clank Bastion writes Defiance. The bands are placed around the orb and carefully lock into place within the new Clank's chest. The trio stand in a circle around the body and clasp hands. Their eyes dim from white light to a low bluish glow, and a low hum rises before a bolt of arcane light flashes and arcs across the trio from the rings of the core. They brace themselves as the arcane light lingers and flashes across them, coalescing in the center of their formation. They tentatively release one another, reaching forward to guide the flow of the energy as it slowly bleeds into the empty core of the body on the floor. "Steady, steady, just a bit more." There's another flash from the core, but not blue. This one is deep indigo. It strikes just as the last of the energy fills the core from the yet unborn Clank. The tall one, Seraph, screams, "No!" And the trio are tossed back, sliding across the copper floor tiles. They slowly get up, checking and making sure that all of their joints are still properly moving, and quietly walk over to the Clank lying on the floor, and they speak as one.
"We name thee Errant, born of wonder, defiance, and zeal."
Errant, you open your eyes for the first time. And Josh, would you please describe your character for us?
You see a fairly tall, elegant Clank made of copper. As mentioned before, the blue core in the center, the kind of recurved legs, the running blade type legs, and then engravings throughout some of the plating that's on there. And so not really sure how much of it is for like runes versus decoration.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
And then a slight spark comes out of my right hand. It's blue.
They all kind of flinch a little bit at that. Reverie, the round one, steps forward and from his satchel pulls out just a nice sort of off-white, almost beige cloak and drapes it around you as you sit up for the first time. And as your parents look over you, there's a moment where they kind of look between each other and they're like, "Can you speak?"
Hello.
"Hello. Welcome to life. You are called Errant.
Errant.
Inscribed on your core, you will find your dedications. You may read them if you would like, but know that they have already been imprinted upon you and shall guide you, while not forcing your hand in any way or into any situation. You'll find that you will favor them, and they will favor you."
Have I been made for a purpose?
"Yes, as are all Clanks. Look around you. This is the Grand Library of Aethra. It has been infected or tarnished in some way." And Seraph steps forward and is like, shortly after, we had a visitor from a land known as Trove, far to the west and across the Great Sea. That is when we noticed the corrosion. It began spreading. It has nearly reached the core, and there's like a moment where they all look at each other, and they're like, it's possible that this corrosion could spread to Clanks, and as such, Aethra has announced a decree that no more are to be created. But, as is the way of the Clanks, many of us do not leave Aethra, nor do we feel comfortable outside of the world. Your purpose is to combat this. We would hope that perhaps in your travels and your feeding of your wonder and zeal and your defiance of the old ways, perhaps you could find maybe a way to fix what's going on here. And Bastion speaks up, the sort of like spider-like centaur, very broad-shouldered one. But keep in mind, child, this is a purpose, yes. But there is no shame if a purpose is not met. Other purposes can sometimes imprint themselves. This is called experience. And they kind of like are speaking to you. Eventually they kind of like help you up, and it takes you a second to get the hang of like moving. There's like a moment of sort of like Boston Dynamics where like like your steps are really awkward and weird.
Baby moose about for a minute.
Yeah. Before Bastion kind of hoists you back up onto his shoulders, there's like a little bit of a seat there on his centaur-like body where you can sit, and you are secreted out of the library and taken to a workshop near the outskirts of Aethra, where as the days continue on, Bastion takes the time to teach you more about language, mobility, and the basics of mana collection and manipulation. What the mortals call magic. During this time, you are kept under lock and key, as an unregistered Clank would raise too many questions. You know that Seraph and Reverie, your other two parents, do not live at the workshop, though they frequently come to aid in your teaching, but you are not allowed to leave. You look down after a couple of days and see that there's a bit of that same corrosion from the library, just at sort of the edge of your wrist and a little bit around the copper band that holds your core in place beneath your chest plate. And it leaves this beautiful blue and black patina on parts of your body that occasionally there's little sparks or twitches, but otherwise it just is sort of a beautiful little decoration that, at least among the Clanks that you have seen, which are mostly just Reverie, Bastion, and Seraph, makes you feel a little unique. And each night, the three moons rise bright in the sky as you look over the edge of the mesa and the vast desert from the top of the warehouse, pondering what other wonders lie beyond the bounds of Aethra. Our vision travels from the mesas across a small gulf where we then see a thick forest, a rainforest of trees of all kinds and sizes, thick and jungly. That's not a word.
I mean,
Thick and bejungled.
there you go.
Bejangled, bejangled, bejangled.
Our vision moves down into the trees and we pass several strange creatures that are going about their lives in the forest before we pass through a trickling waterfall and into a cave that leads down and down and down beneath the surface of Miro. We see brightly glowing mushrooms and crystals that illuminate a vast subterranean city within an enormous cave. There are Gothic cathedrals carved from huge stalactites that stretch down from the cave's ceiling, and several equally sized buildings coming up from underneath that meet them. We see entrances to large tunnels that spoke out from the central city to farms, ranches, and smaller communities, and further past those branches on the outskirts of Grotazan. We see natural light from a small cave mouth outside. and thick trees that dapple the light that falls softly onto the mossin walls of Cavestone. There's a small hut that rests a short hike from Grotazan proper. Outside, we see an old woman with silver curls of hair and one shock of black in the front, and as she approaches with an armful of dried mushroom stalks, as long as walking canes. Her nose is gnarled and a little twisted, but her eyes are soft and kind. Sprue! Sprue! I've returned! Come, help your granny with the firewood!
I will rush out from around the back of the hut, where I was also just kind of peeling mosses off the wall into a bag.
Yeah, Sam, would you please describe your character for us now as a young adult of 18?
Yeah. My goat-like legs, formerly very chubby, are now kind of long, and I'm past the awkward phases of teenagerhood, but still kind of awkward on a human body.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of bound more than walk. Her hair is huge and curly and like sometimes sort of piled into a bun or a ponytail, covered in trinkets and like pieces of brass or colored glass and small pieces of crystal that weren't too expensive to set, cheap pieces of crystal that have broken off.
Yeah, a lot of them glow.
The most obviously vibrant item that I carry is like a hand-woven bag that kind of goes over the shoulder. And the symbol on it is like a moon and stars.
Excellent. Granny Rivet unloads all of the shroom logs into your arms and stretches her back, and then adroitly climbs the steps to the hut to open the door for you, just like unbothered. What does the average evening with Granny Rivet look like?
We probably make dinner together.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Using like too many bowls.
We use every night, we use every dish in the house, and it bothers no one there. Nobody's bothered. Every spoon, because we have to taste test as we go, as we put more salt and moss.
Mm-hmm.
I think afterwards, we spend our time either working on like a craft that we're selling. I think Granny probably knows some basic, like small forgery or like smithing, things like small bits of chainmail that we can sell to like armorers, or trinkets and jewelry like rings and bracelets.
Yeah. As you're kind of like going through these things after dinner, and Granny's kind of like stacked up all of the bowls. She's like, "Did you smelt those ores like I asked?"
Yeah, some of them.
I asked you to smelt all of them, Sprue.
I needed some things. And...
Well, come. Get the crucible. We'll do the last ones together.
Okay.
And you grab a large metal crucible and place it over a small fireplace that also has billows on either side that can function as a forge as you guys work together, heating up these strange like bits of ore that Granny has collected that you put in until they melt off. She has like a stick of lead that she occasionally will like reach in and scoop off any bits of rock or stone that float to the top before you guys work together, clamping around the crucible and then pouring it into these little molds before you create these little ingots. And she takes a step back and kind of like looks over your work. Perfect. Now, don't think I've forgotten what day it is. And they say that my mind's the one that's going, "It's your birthday, girl." She kind of like knocks you with her cane.
Right. And?
Now, take these 2 ingots down to Forgeman Bolt. He's in Soldering Square. You know the shop?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Tell him Granny Rivet said, "The knell sounds, the time has come." Mm-hmm.
The knell sounds, the time has come.
Yes.
Knell sounds, the time has come. The knell sounds, the time has come. Okay.
Don't forget, don't dally.
Okay. Wait.
Off with you.
And I'll put them in my bag. I'll wrap them so they don't like damage everything that I have in my bag.
Yeah, you wrap them separately.
My mosses and teas and things.
Yeah, she kind of like helps you organize your things, and as you're doing so, there's a rumbling deep within the stone of Miro. And Granny Rivet pauses for a moment. Waits. There's another small rumble. Scattered gods. Another collapse, no doubt. Terrible, terrible shame. Go now, Sprue, with haste, and be safe. Mind the stones. He looks around suspiciously.
I will take off. I'll amble. There will be ambling.
Yeah, there's a young person around Sprue's age that lives or works on the way to Bolt's Forge that has always made time to chat. Are they masculine or feminine?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Perfect. Pick a card. Oops, I broke my flag.
No! I wasn't supposed to look. Sorry.
You can look, it's fine. Oh, interesting.
Another orc.
Very interesting. Would you like to pick a type of ape or monkey?
All right. Macaque.
Are those the ones that hang out in...
They hang out in the springs, in the hot springs.
I love it. I love it. There's a there's a young Simia who his features favor that of the macaque, as he's got sort of
Stop
like
it. You stop it.
he's got sort of a longer nose and the gray fur, very svelte and thin, and he's wearing just like a simple tunic with a vest open over it, and his hands up to like the elbow are covered in clay, as he works as a potter's apprentice and mostly does like the reclaim. So he's working with like really wet slop clay and spreading it out over plaster, and then he's just like constantly covered. He's got an apron on as you approach, and his name is Bezel. And
Bezel.
as you approach, Bezel steps out and he's like, Sprue, I'm glad you're all right. It looks like there was another cave-in. We lost another farm chamber.
Another farm chamber?
Yes, it didn't cave in this time. They said it just sort of collapsed. Like there's just a hole there now.
To where?
I don't know. It's too deep to see the bottom.
Did anybody get hurt?
We're not sure yet. I haven't heard any reports, but I think they're still investigating. He kind of like looks around. He's like, don't we have enough problems? Those Magister Knights from Trove poking around every corner. Now I've got to worry about the ground falling out from under our feet. As he says this, you guys are kind of like talking outside of the shop in Soldering Square. And you see a group of these Magister Knights. Each of them's wearing a black cloak, and they have the symbol of the Forged King, which is a golden anvil with sparks coming off of one side on their chest. And he's like, what brings you to the square so late?
Oh, right. I have some things that I have to exchange, and I have to give a message to someone.
Oh. Is it urgent?
Only someone, I think. She said not to tell me, but she always says that. Oh, that reminds me. I found something, and I'll produce like a couple of colorful metal shavings. Mm-hmm. I thought that maybe you could do something with these.
Yes. I would love to grind these up, and perhaps I could dust them over a glaze and see how it would react in the kiln. Thank you. He,
of course.
Tucks them into a pouch.
I found them in a hole.
Excellent. That's the best place to find ores.
I was following a couple of cave squirrels.
Cave squirrels, always causing trouble and finding ores.
Well, they didn't. I just walked by it. I found the ores.
I don't know if you can tell.
Found a cave nut.
Excellent. I don't know if you can tell. I'm positively covered in mud.
Sure.
I was thinking about going for a swim at the Crystal Grotto. Do you want to come?
She might be mad if I take that much time. Yeah, let's go. But first, I'm going to cover my arms in slip. All right. Now, I have to go.
Yes. We've got reason. And,
we're covered in slip.
And he grabs your hand, and the two of you, your hooves clopping on the stone floor as you make your way to the Crystal Grotto. It's a magnificent cavern through just a couple of channels that opens up, and there are blue and gold crystals that illuminate the space. And you can see there's also these bioluminescent eels that swim in the shallow pools of the area. let's see who can make the biggest splash. And he runs over and jumps in. Make, I don't think finesse is right. Let's make an agility roll.
Okay, now remind me, because last time things got a little weird when I didn't know how this game worked.
You add the two together.
I add them together.
And then
okay.
Are
If
they
you-
the same number?
If your fear is higher or your hope is higher, then tell me which one.
That is help. 21. 21 with hope.
21 with hope. You gain a hope. You can mark that on your character sheet. Also, don't forget that you start with 2 hope. I don't know if you have those marked.
Oh, I
already.
just marked 1.
So you would do that 21 and then plus your modifier if you had one.
Yeah, plus agility.
It was agility, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
On his natural 1, I think you catch on as you see Bezel like running over.
Falls.
Well, I think you see as he's like, let's see who can make a bigger splash, and he rushes over and like puts on a pretty poor performance, but it seems like on purpose. Like he's giving you the win, but you don't know if he wants you to know that.
Okay. I won't point it out.
And what does it look like over the course of the next like hour or so as you and Bezel are chilling and swimming with the eels?
I think I convinced him to help me get like shells and whatnot from the bottom. I'll give him half the shells.
Excellent.
Half of them.
He's like, that's all right. I just like this one. And he takes one. He's like, you can keep the rest.
You're sure?
Yes.
Because you can do a lot with some shells.
Speaking of shells, I found this the other day and it immediately made me think of you. And he reaches into his pouch, it's like all damp and wet, and pulls out the small sort of like ridged clamshell and opens it up. And inside you see there's like a little pink pearl.
Where did you find that?
I found it here in the crystal grotto. I immediately thought of you. I thought you might like it.
This could be very useful. Thank you.
Of course. And I think that he like smiles, and every time he's smiled at you today, afterwards there's been a little bit of a like trail off where he kind of stares off in the distance and the smile fades away for a moment.
Is something wrong?
My brother, Kettle, you know, my older brother, he was arrested last night by the Magister Knights.
For what?
I don't even know that they had a real reason. They probably just saw him in an alleyway somewhere they didn't think he should be. But one of them beat him so badly he can't even chew with his jaw anymore. I was wondering, I know we don't really talk about this, but you're like sort of magical, right? He like looks around, make sure, and there's like you're the only two in the grotto at this time. It's like a witch, right?
I mean, like, guess?
I wonder. I hate to put you out, obviously, but I wonder if there's some way that maybe we could, if you knew how to put a curse on someone who did it, not to kill him, obviously, but I would never want that. Just to make him pay for what he's done.
I don't know how to do that.
Right. It was silly. It was silly. And he like looks down, like looks around for a second. He's like, "Oh, I just remembered I've got a bunch more reclaim that I need to get wedged, or they're going to be really mad at me. You've got an errand to run in the square, right?"
Yeah, I do.
Wonderful. Thank you for
Sure.
coming with me.
Yeah, see you next time, I guess.
Yes. And
Good luck with your brother.
thank you. And he turns and leaves the grotto, like kind of leaves you awkwardly standing there for a moment.
I think I'm just gonna throw the pearl back in the water.
You do so. Do you make your way back to Soldering Square to Bolt's Forge?
Yeah, I'll go to do my errand.
Excellent. Stepping in a little less chipper than you were before, You see as large bellows pump steam from the forge through vent pipes in the ceiling, and brass walls are adorned with titanium hammers, chisels, and anvils. And there's an eccentric fellow who you've interacted with a couple of times before. Bolt is a dwarf with big bushy eyebrows that almost completely cover his eyes, and a gray beard that's black and curled at the ends from frequently catching fire.
Oh, hey there. If it isn't little Sprue, what can I do for you this evening?
Okay. My granny told me to bring you these, and I'll like rifle through the bag, and I have to somehow, in all of the running around, they kind of fall into the bottom of the bag. So I'm like putting other stuff. There's like a bunch of fur, like piece of soap that I've just been holding on to.
Just bring me all this.
No.
Oh.
None of this is for you.
Oh, all right.
Do you want any? This is a salve. I'll hand him just like a.
That's all. That's
No,
okay.
You can just have that.
Okay, all right.
I have more. And I'll hand him the 2 ingots.
Oh, lovely. Did she say what she'd like done with them?
The knell tolls. The time has come. Knell tolls. I think that's it. And
She said the knell
tolls.
tolls, and
the time has come. The time has come.
are you sure she said tolls and not maybe sounds? Or...
That sound, it could be it occurred. The knell.
I'm afraid I need to hear you say it.
Sure. The knell calls. No, what did you say? It sounds.
Big sigh from...
Once more with feeling.
Okay, from the top. The knell sounds. The time has come.
Ah, she said those exact words. And his eyebrows raise so high that you almost catch a hint of like blue eyes
I'm trying
underneath.
to.
Oh, well, if that's what she said.
And she did.
Word for word.
You see as he...
She could have said Belle.
Did she say Belle?
No,
I don't know why she would.
that would make sense.
He walks over to the far wall and removes a small painting that reveals a small little keyhole. And he reaches under his sweat-stained shirt and pulls out a little key and kisses it before placing it into the hole and twisting. And as he does so, you see the entire wall shifts with mechanisms that were unseen before. You didn't notice any seams until they started moving and shifting. You hear this deep click happen within the wall before you see a small, like brick-sized piece of brass kind of like pops out a little bit at about his waist height. He grabs that and pulls it out, and it's a thick drawer, maybe like 2 or 3 inches of thick brass. As he pulls it open and reaches in, pulls out a wooden scroll case and a leather satchel that's about yay big. It's like big enough that you could fit like a...
Like a book.
Yeah, it's almost exactly this size, but rounded on the bottom. And pulls the 2 of those out, takes the ingots from you, and walks over and begins working them. You see as he sprinkles some sort of powder on top of one, places the other on top of it, sets them on the forge where they begin heating, where he then grabs them with tongs and begins hammering and working the metal. Occasionally folding, sprinkling with flux, and repeating over and over and over again. And after about an hour of time, but she'll occasionally like ask you to bring him a tool, and you usually bring the wrong one, and then he has to like point at what it is that he needs.
You didn't tell me what any of these were. You just asked for them.
I know that you smelt with Granny Rivet. I've just
You can't
assumed.
waste my stuff. What if we call it different things?
Why would we call tools different things?
Well, my name is Sprue.
She
and
said
yours
the
is
Nell tolls.
She said the knell sounds.
I
The
wonder if
time
she
has
did.
come.
Well, it's too late now. And
Wait, no. What? That's
And-
what she said.
Yes, right. It's too late for me to not have done this. And he presents, you can see, it's taken the shape of a dagger. He takes out a pre-made hilt that's made from some sort of light spalted wood that has, it's like a sort of pale beige with black striations through it. And as he slips that onto the end while the blade is still hot. He then quenches the whole thing, hammers it a few more times to get rid of the annealing and strengthen the metal before he places it in a sheath and then hands the dagger to you, as well as the scroll case in the bag. Now, take this back to Granny Rivet. Have you got something to write with? I've got ink. Hold out your hand. He walks over, comes back, and he's like, I want you to tell her I said, I do with sanctity my duty once more. The rest is in her hands. And he like writes this on your palm. He's like, don't go washing your hands before you get home, girl. He like grabs one of the bellows and is like, straight back to Granny Rivet with all these things. Tuck them away, put them in your bag now.
I do with
You can read, right, girl? Written on your hand is, I do with sanctity my duty once more.
Do you want a notebook?
I have paper under this, but I have to be fast.
What's great is it's wet erase, so we should definitely smudge it by the time we get back. Oh,
We'll make
there's
a roll
another
about
thing too.
I do with sanctity my duty once more. That was it.
The rest is in her hand.
Shit! I'm an A student.
You're
You're
a student.
He bellows to dry the ink. He's like, straight home, no dilly-dallying, all right?
There is no reason for me to dally or dilly.
Perfect.
I've done that already.
Excellent. I wasn't expecting you about an hour and a half ago.
I got sidetracked.
Well, on your way then.
All right.
And you set out and begin heading
I'm
back.
good the whole way back, staring at my
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah. Make a quick fate roll and tell me if you roll with hope or fear.
Cocked. It sure is. Okay. With hope or fear, do you need to know the number?
No.
Okay. Hope.
Hope. Excellent. You gain a hope.
Woo!
And you manage to look up from staring at the script on your hand just before you run into a Magister Knight on patrol. He like, as you like look up and stop, he's like standing and looking in your direction. He's just like, can I help you, lass?
Nope. I am not to dilly or to dally. Straight home.
Wonderful. Be on your way.
I'm gonna look around. Am I going in the direction?
You are going in the correct direction, yes.
Great. We're going in the right direction right now.
That is good.
And I will-
That is good.
Brush by him casual.
Yeah. He raises an eye.
Long steps.
Yeah,
Super
raises, raises an eyebrow and watches you go. And you see there another guard comes out of the building next to him, and they kind of like share a couple of words with each other as you continue on your way back to Granny Rivet's cottage. At this point, I would like everyone to increase 2 of your stats by +1 to a maximum of +2, and choose 1 domain card if you haven't already, and an experience if you would like. I'll say experiences are another one where if a situation arises where you come up with something that would be applicable, you can come up with it in the moment too if you'd like. Has everybody chosen their stat increases? Mm-hmm. Wonderful. We find ourselves back in the city of Galena, outside of a seedy little pub called the Mangy Marmanil. There's a wooden sign out front that depicts a merman who's missing a lot of scales and looks emaciated. And inside there are stone walls and low lights. The crowd is boisterous. There's a drink spilled every couple of minutes, whether that's from a fight breaking out or people just bumping into one another.
Castelli territory?
Yeah.
Are they a crime syndicate?
Yes. Castelli is a businessman whose shady dealings and strong-arm tactics have put him in charge of the Culver district of Galena. At the bar, we see a fungal man with pale yellow skin and a dark mushroom cap that curls and darkens at the edges, finishing up a pint. He wears a nondescript set of leathers beneath a green cloak, and looks almost exactly like the photo of Caspian Heiderbeck.
Do I think that this person would have any allies at this establishment or with the Castellians?
Make an instinct roll.
My worst one. Well, it's not my worst, but it's not my best. That is a 21 with hope.
Hell yeah, gain a hope. You watch as he finishes his drink and leaves the tavern at a casual pace, presumably headed for the office of Lord Waldus Waldorf. You also hang around long enough to see as another figure follows shortly after him, short human in a brown cloak that has the hood pulled up. On that roll, you're not certain if they are associated or if this is competition.
I don't recognize the person following them at all.
Not at all. And the night is dark, and there are many alleyways between the tavern and the office. What do you do? Make a quick fate roll as well. Tell me if you roll with hope or fear.
Hope.
Hope, excellent. As you're tailing these two figures, which I think as you continue watching, it becomes very clear that the human is not associated with Caspian, because he's also kind of like hanging back and keeping his distance, but it's an obvious tail that you've spotted. And you watch as Caspian like pauses for a moment, kind of like steadies himself after having been drinking for, he's been drinking for the last couple hours, like steadies himself and steps into a dark alleyway and begins relieving himself.
Does the human like follow him into the alley, or is he like hanging back?
The human hanging back is like, he'll like stop at like street market stalls and he'll be like looking through stuff and like occasionally like peering over his shoulder, and you see as he sees him tuck into the alleyway, kind of like finishes pretending to have business and then starts quickly heading towards the alleyway.
I'll follow.
Are you just kind of hanging back and observing?
I'm gonna see if he's like robbing this guy, or if he's killing him, or...
Make a quick finesse roll. This is to keep yourself blending in with the crowd.
14 with hope.
14 with hope, gain a hope. And
I'm full up on hope, y'all.
You make your way into an alleyway that's sort of adjacent across the street, where you have good eyes on what's going down here. You watch as the human in the cloak tucks into the alley and walks up behind Caspian before drawing a knife and drawing it across his throat, and takes the body and starts dragging it further down the alleyway.
Easiest money I ever made.
Well, keep in mind, he's got a parcel that you're supposed to
get
off the body.
So I forgot about that. I'm gonna go. I'll go in after, now that he's dragging the body. I'm gonna add a special sauce onto my two daggers, because I'll have a normal like butcher knife, and then like maybe a filleting knife or something.
Yeah.
As my secondary. But yeah, I'm gonna add a little special sauce onto those. It's a little herb called leechweed.
Hell yeah.
And I'll tell you what that does if I hit with.
Excellent.
Inconspicuously make my way in there. Just
yeah, you walk in, he kind of like stops, drops the body, draws a dagger.
oh,
He's gonna rush at you. I'm gonna spend a fear. He's gonna rush up and try to stab you.
okay.
I have to warn you, I'm a chef.
I am talented with these.
Oh,
I definitely thought you were just gonna say, I am Italian.
Cancelled.
that's a natural 20.
Oh,
I forgot you used D20s back there.
I have something called Danger Sense, where I can mark a stress to force an adversary to re-roll an attack against you or an ally within very close range. So I would like to use that, please.
Absolutely, good call. That is not as good. That is a 10.
Not as good.
That doesn't hit. That doesn't beat my evasion.
Excellent. You watch as he rushes forward, and you like take a step back, and he swipes out with the knife. Just like in the last moment, you bring your body to the side and manage to like deflect the blade off as the struggle begins. What do you do?
So I didn't have this the last time we played Daggerheart. I didn't have a secondary weapon. Do I get to attack with both my primary and my secondary weapons?
I don't think so. I believe you can choose one or the other, but the secondary weapon usually has a benefit that it adds to your primary.
Got it. All right.
You've got dual daggers?
I do. So, well, I've got dagger, and then I've got a small dagger as my secondary, and that gives me +2 to primary weapon damage.
Hell yeah.
So I guess it just makes my filleting more precise.
Hell yeah.
I don't say anything out loud or like make any, because we're trying to keep this under wraps in this alley, the both of us.
Yeah, this guy is also like silently swiping.
So I'm gonna attack him.
Music videos without music in this alleyway.
Yeah. Like very quiet techno music. That is a 16 with fear.
16 hits.
Okay. So what I'd like to do, since that hit, is mark a stress to have him affected by my class feature.
Okay.
And since it hit, he's also going to be affected by my sauce.
Your sauce.
Yeah.
My sauce. So I'm going to roll all of these dice for damage.
Hell yeah.
Not great. 3, 6, 9.
That's so fine.
9 damage, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Did you just whisper ass so fine?
He said 369.
You slice across him with the dagger. He grunts and feels the extra sauce on there coming across. I'm gonna. You rolled with fear, so he's going to turn. And the bricks of the wall here are very uneven. He's going to turn and grab and it's like skitter up, and he moves with such alacrity up the wall. It's like the same as if he were walking. But he goes upward, and then I'm going to spend a fear as he's going to turn and leap down and attack. He has an ability called From Above.
Of course. I'm familiar with people doing these sort of attacks.
Yeah.
From my time as a Catboy wrestler. Off the top rope.
That's
In a
a
former life.
Right.
that's a dirty 20 to hit.
I mean, if he's gotta.
All right. Since he's coming from above, it's going to be a D10 damage. 8 points of damage to you.
So
you
how do
compare
I
those-
do my armor again?
Are you wearing armor?
I am wearing leather armor under my chef's smock.
Okay. Did you mark your thresholds?
Yes. 6 and 13.
You can spend
6 and 13.
one to reduce it from severe to major, right?
Okay.
So it's you or just from any tier to any other tier. So he rolled an 8 on damage, which would be
That would be major damage for me.
yes, that would be 2 HP. But you can mark an armor slot to instead take 1 hit point of damage.
I'm going to do that.
Okay. Yeah, he leaps down at you and slashes across with the dagger. What kind of armor are you wearing?
It's leather armor.
yeah.
And it's very nondescript, just because it's made to go under
Yeah.
my chef's coat, my chef's smock.
Hell yeah. He kind of like slices down and cuts and gets a little bit of flesh, but also cuts through one of the straps so that it's just kind of like overall down on one side and damages your armor a little bit.
I'm more offended that he's damaging my apparatus than my person.
That's back to you.
Well, he's back down here, so I can just attack him normally again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to. You said he's a human, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go for the spine.
Yeah, go for it. And you can see now, like up close with him, he's got sort of like pale green eyes and a very dark tan skin tone.
I need to make a roll real quick.
Okay.
All right. That's just how much sauce I have on me.
Gotcha.
I'm
Roll for sauce.
gonna sauce him again.
sauce.
Well, try to sauce him again. That's 15 with fear.
15 hits. Sauce him up.
14 damage.
Damn. 14 is exactly severe damage. He only had 3 hit points left. What does it look like when you take out the assassin?
So when he climbs up and like jumps down and slashes my stuff, I'm like, oh my god, sew that up. So juke to the side and stab him right in the spine.
Oh, hell yeah. And yeah, there's a moment where like his body goes limp and like his face has this look of like shock and confusion before the sauce takes effect.
And right before he dies, I whisper in his ear, "This was not your target."
He like goes to speak, but just blood comes out before he goes limp in your arms. And now you've got 2 bodies to dispose of.
Oh, gobla mia. I'd like to use my get in and get out ability.
Okay.
I can spend a hope to ask you for either a quick or inconspicuous way into or out of a building or structure that you can see. Hopefully, like, use that to also get rid of the bodies, like, as part of this.
I would definitely allow that. Go ahead and spend your hope.
Okay.
And you take the 2 bodies and drag them into, at the end of this alleyway, which is between 2 buildings, there's a door on one, and you actually, you know this part of the city pretty well. You know that this is a butcher, and you make your way into the back of the butcher shop where they have their like discarded cuts and carcass bits that aren't used for eating in this large dumpster. You just kind of like dump both of the dudes.
I make sure to get the parcel.
Yeah, you grab the parcel, which you see is a small scroll casing. And you grab that, pocket it, push them down, and kind of like grab some other animal parts and put them on top so they're not super obvious before closing the lid
meats.
and exiting back out into the street.
It's Arby's. Right.
They have the meat.
They have the meats.
Sorry,
yeah.
Arby's.
Sorry, bees. Stepping out back into the alleyway, kind of like see where your clothing was cut. There's a little bit of blood, but you can kind of like pull a cloak over it. There's still a light rain falling tonight, so it's not out of place to have some sort of rain jacket on. You've got that scroll case. Do you open it?
That wasn't part of the assignment, so no.
Excellent. Taking that with you, you head back to the now currently still closed secret ingredient. And stepping inside, you see that Braylursk is already inside waiting for you. She sits at one of the tables with one leg crossed over the other and kind of like a hand resting on them. She's like, I take it you were successful.
No one else is here, right?
No.
It's just us. So I'll walk up, put the parcel, the scroll case, unopened, in front of her and say, "Yes, Galena belongs to the people."
That it does, comrade. And she takes it and opens the scroll. Huh?
What?
You guys have like gone through 7 different accents. I can't figure out if that's like part
Just
of
2.
the character.
Just 2.
Just 2.
She looks over it.
This is not the first time Matt has hit us with secondary accents.
She's like, I see.
There was another going after the target.
Did
I disposed of him as well.
Good. Do you have a description?
I'll give her the description
She's
of
like,
the guy.
Interesting. Where did you leave the body? I would like to investigate for myself.
In the meat refuse behind the butcher shop near the, I'll describe like where the alley was.
Yes.
You know.
Excellent, excellent. I will investigate further. This scroll contains information on the upcoming Carnival de Trove. Events, guests, most importantly, she like taps on it. Locations, dates, and times of meetings between the various chancellors of the Forged Empire. I know, again, this goes a little bit against protocol, but seeing as your storefront is currently closed, we have an opening for a caterer at the Carnival de Trove. What do you say to a little ship's journey?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. She scrolls it up and holds out a hand to shake.
Anything for the cause.
And as the two of you shake hands and both smirk knowingly, we once again pull away from Galena, back further north to the Frost Timbers, as the deluge has begun. Snow whips past you as you rush down the mountainside, sitting at the front, like the nose of the sled, with your brother Rupendrier, or Roop, behind you, as the two of you are sledding quickly down the mountainside. At first, all 6 teams were near each other, but have since split off and taken separate routes, as there are many ways to the finish line from the top. I need you to make an agility roll.
Good thing that's what I put a +1 into.
Hell yeah.
Good call.
Oh, it's a 15 with hope.
15 with hope, gain a hope.
did
Excellent, 15 is not bad.
You're doing it, Rudy.
As you're going, you are quickly barreling down this mountainside. You guys took one of the straighter routes, which is a little bit more dangerous because it is a steeper decline, whereas the other options have a lot more like curves and turns, but are typically a little safer. Safer but slower. You were not told.
I know what I'm doing.
He's like, all right, just keep steering. What? What? It's just like,
to glory. Just like,
yeah, he holds up a staff and he's like, oh, and like sticks it in the ground for a moment. You see, as the two of you are having this conversation, you like turn back to the front to steer, and you're headed straight for a rock. And you like lean to the side as he sticks his staff into the ground, and your sled quickly like whips out of the way, and both of you have to like hold on as it nearly tips, but then falls back into place. Occasionally, you guys rush past stands that have been set up and erected out of wood, where people are sitting and watching as the different sleds are going by down the mountainside. Finally, the arena is in sight, and the doors are still open. In seconds that feel like an eternity, you slide across the threshold into the arena, quickly pulling the sled to the side as each of you have a staff that you like stick into the ground and lose several inches of as you brake until the sled comes to a halt. I don't think you even process as the gate closes behind you, because your focus is forward. Roop has already leapt out of the sled and is rushing forward towards these pedestals that are at the center of the arena. You see him get there and hoist a curved blade in a salute to the crowd as you approach as well. The last of the 4 weapons remains: a shield. What does the shield look like?
it's actually kind of like long on the arm.
Yeah.
Like if you were to hold it in front of you, because I think that it's designed to help block like not just yourself but others.
Hell yeah.
And there's this idea that you need to be nimble to be able to like block head and lower extremities, but it's easier to move side to side too.
Hell yeah. And as part of that design, it also functions because it like goes out to the sides on either side, but there's also these 2 prongs that come off from the fist side that can also be used to make an offensive attack.
Can you use it as a sled? The important question.
If you really wanted to.
If I'm Legolasing, I guess.
We'll say this counts as like a primary and secondary weapon in one. Let's use broadsword as the primary, and then round shield as the secondary. So you get +1 to your armor score.
Okay.
And then the broadsword is +1 to attack rolls because it's reliable. And it does a d8 of physical damage.
Okay, so the secondary, it just gives me 1 armor, right?
Yeah. All of Frost Timber seems to be in the stands of the arena watching with anticipation from their seats. Most notably, taking this all in, your first time in the deluge, you made it into the arena, and looking up, you can hear now the thunk of other sleds hitting the closed gates outside that didn't make it in time. Looking up, you see most notably the Council of Elders sit in an arc, massive dracona in leather cloaks with furred interiors. outsiders, it's just like thoughts rushing through your mind, it's like adrenaline's pumping through your veins. Outsiders say that the elders have giant's blood, which lends their large frames, but you know the truth. That much like the dragons who begin their lives beneath the ground, then grow and grow, filling up the ground, then the surface, then the oceans, and finally taking to the skies, which can hold them, Dracona who live well and with honor see themselves grow to a stature that matches their valor. At least, you hope that's the case. You haven't really hit your spurt yet.
Hit that spurt.
You prepare yourself for battle, stepping up next to your brother Roop, and look across at your opponents, who arrived first. You see Flavian Demew, the youngest son of another council member of Frost Timber, and a bit of a surprise to you, Benoit Valar, your eldest brother. The first team to have both of its members bleeding loses. It's first blood on both sides. If you are hit and start to bleed, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are out of the fight. That just means that if your teammate also takes a hit and bleeds, then you lose. You've practiced many times, but this is your first time in actual combat. You do the customary salute to the other team before the two sides rush one another. Roop rushes forward, and you know that he does most of his sparring with Benoit, and the two of them clash swords and begin battling. Flavian rushes up to you with a long sword drawn. What do you do?
I'm going to whisper, "Time to become unstoppable." And that's actually one of my class features.
Oh yeah, amazing.
Let's see. While unstoppable, you gain the following benefits: reduce severity of the physical damage by a threshold.
Oh, and sorry, for your knowledge, we're gonna call first blood is like running out of hit points. So it's not like it's not like one hit and you're out. It's gonna be like, you know, you're all skilled fighters. It's gonna be a battle.
That's a lot. Okay. Yes. I can add the value of this unstoppable die to my damage roll. I can't be restrained or vulnerable. Okay. Can I say that before my brother rushed at my other brother, I shout, "Tilly time, boys!" And that's my experience, because Tilly time means fighting.
Hell yeah.
It's time to fight.
Love that. Both of them, like without a thought, as they're rushing towards each other, yell, "Tilly time!"
I'm for a dummy, bro.
Flavian looks a little confused, but rushes forward anyway. Long sword drawn.
I'd have a scrap.
You have a scrap?
I'd have a scrap.
You wanna go, bud? Go, bud. Okay, and then can I attack? Can I strike with the shield?
Hell yeah.
But, oh, it's gonna be an 8 with fear.
8 with fear.
I can't believe you've done this.
You rush forward and do a jumping leap into a shield punch, which Flavian brings up his longsword, parries it to the side, and he's going to try and take that opportunity to...
Dreams in my head of this amazing attack.
He's going to do his best to parry that. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
Oh, against my evasion. Yes.
That's 3 points of damage.
Okay, so that would be minor.
Minor is 1 HP.
Yes. I'm gonna mark armor.
Hell yeah. You bring up your... as you like punch out with the shield, he pivots it to the side and you see him swinging down at you from the side. You quickly bring the shield around and feel it take the brunt of that blow as you also parry it back. That's gonna be back to you.
A little bit shaken. I'm gonna try to change tactics and try to swipe at his legs with the shield.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I get to add this. I forgot about that.
How? Why?
From your unstoppable?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a 20 to hit.
20 hits for sure. Go ahead and roll damage.
Now I just do damage. I remember how to play.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
Okay.
He seems to be going along with it. 6.
Keep distracting him.
6
I'm gonna
damage?
eat his dice.
So you're gonna eat them?
Don't put the dice in your mouth.
This is a sacrifice.
Ooh, nice.
Blood coming out of my mouth.
What does it look like as you strike?
I'm just trying to like get him off balance so that I can get a better hit on him.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you go for a strike at like right at the side of his knee, and he sees it coming and like lifts up, and you collide with like his armor on his shins, but he still kind of like reels and takes a step back from that, and he's going to step forward and try and lunge at you with the sword. That is only a 12 to hit.
Still hits.
Okay. Ooh, big damage. That is 7 points of damage. He kind of
Major. The unstoppable reduces it to minor. There's one other thing.
You can mark another armor slot if you want to take it down one more, I think.
It can't be less than minor, right?
You can completely negate it.
Yeah.
You just risk breaking your armor.
Well,
I will do that.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to get hurt.
That is the name of the game, honestly, is just don't be the first to bleed. He like stumbles back, takes a stance, catches his footing, and thrusts the sword forward at you. And you plant yourself in the ground, and I think you just meet it with the shield, and like it pushes you back a couple of inches, but you hold strong. I'm gonna spend a fear. He's gonna try and quickly strike again around the shield at you. But he doesn't, that's a 6.
I think I'm gonna take that opportunity to like lift the shield and use elemental breath.
Hell yeah.
So in that moment, as he tries to get around the shield, when he does, there's just a face full of fire.
Hell yeah.
It's an instinct weapon? What is an instinct?
Oh, then I think you would just roll to attack and add your instinct.
That's a 13 to hit.
Nice.
With hope.
13 hits.
Nice.
That'll be a D8.
8. You add the current value of the unstoppable die to your damage roll, so not the attack roll. So it would have been 11 for the attack roll.
11 would not have hit.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So yeah, you lift the shield and breathe fire as he tucks and rolls backward and catches himself. You rolled with hope, though, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll spend a fear. Why not? He'll try and strike back at you. 15 to hit.
Does hit.
Another 7 damage.
Quit it.
Oh, everyone's doing their best.
My armor is getting, my beautiful new armor is starting to take some wear and tear, but
Yeah.
it is keeping me safe.
Excellent. I think I'm going to walk back something I said earlier.
Okay.
Earlier I said being cut doesn't eject you from the fight. I think it does. So I think it's like last man standing kind of thing. Like once you take a cut and are bleeding, then you are pulled from the match.
rather than all your hit points being gone.
Well, no, it'll still be all your hit points being gone. That'll decide when you're bloodied. Yeah, because I was just thinking about something that was what I was thinking as I was preparing this. Anyway, did you take any damage from that?
No. With Unstoppable and
And then
armor, I was
armor.
able to
Hell yeah.
completely reduce it.
Excellent. The spotlight goes back to you.
I want to see what Roop is doing and see if I can't like double team with him to like a kind of back to back and like maneuver with him to try to add an additional hit on either one of our opponents.
Okay. Yeah, the two of you, you like are taking hits and just trading blows essentially, and lots of parrying and the clinging of metal as you find yourself backing up. You get back to back with Roop and kind of like nudge him. He looks around the shoulder and you see as he gets like crossed for just a moment with Benoit, and then he's going to like push his sword back and try and kind of like come around your side, and you can make an attack with advantage as Roop and you strike at Flavian at the same time.
What's advantage again?
That's a great question that I should remember. Advantage, add a d6 to your die roll.
6, okay.
I forgot also and was going to give the wrong answer.
Roll 3d12 and pick your favorites.
23 with hope.
23 with hope. Mark a hope. That definitely hits. I'll have you roll an extra d4 with your damage on this one.
Knock his block off!
9 plus 2 is 11.
shit, same situation as before. What does it look like as you eject Flavian from the game?
Oh, hell yeah. I think that as me and Roop are doing this kind of like spinning attack, it kind of takes him by surprise. He tries to block Roop's attack and then gets the shield to the stomach, and it like actually punctures.
Hell yeah. Roop brings his sword down and he brings his up to parry it, and the two get caught in a crosslock for a moment, which is just long enough for you to punch through his defenses in the stomach. He slides back and rolls, and you can see his blood smears on the sand as he does, and is like stands up holding his stomach. Whistle blows, and you see as a couple of attendants come out and begin escorting him off the field. He hands off his blade. As that is all happening, you turn and look around your shoulder, and in that same instant where Roop brought his sword down, Benoit from behind slices just across the back of Roop's thigh, and he goes out. There are only two remaining. It's you and your oldest brother, Benoit. Let me mark down his situation real quick. He looks tired from his tussle with Roop, but he is not yet bleeding.
Kick him in the Benoit balls.
Here we go.
Balls wah.
Just vocal stimming in a circle over here.
That's the whole show. Actually, we've really reined it in this episode.
Yeah, we've just been vocal stimming for an hour and 40 minutes, actually. That's all we do here.
It's only been an hour and 40 minutes. Sorry, I forgot the rest.
Not including our pause for upgrading stuff.
The knell tolls.
That's spotlight to Rudy.
I think I just like look at my brother and like grin really, really big. And just like wait for like a reciprocal like understanding of what this is, of like finally little brother gets big brother. Yeah, beneath his helmet you can see a smirk, and there's sort of this like yellowish cast to his reptilian eyes. As you can see, he kind of like smirks and brings the sword up as you guys rush each other. Let's fucking go, boys. Is that right? Hang on. If it's a strength weapon? No, broadsword's agility, so you would add agility to it. And since it has a +1 to attack rolls, okay, I had been doing this wrong.
Math is such a tricky thing.
Well, I forgot to add the agility because it tells me to do the attack rolls. Okay, so that's 12. 12 to hit. Am I missing anything else?
Do you have like an experience you could add maybe to the attack?
Have you borne an experience in this moment?
There's Tilly time, boys.
Tilly time, boys. I love it.
Okay, so we'll do a +2.
+2.
Can somebody
brings you
explain to me what Tilly time boys means?
So,
A tilly
is like a fight.
A tilt is to get tilted is to fight.
Okay.
And to go full tilt is like a big brawl.
Got
and
it.
then they shorten that to Tilly. And then they're like, Tilly time, boys, it's time to fight.
All right.
It's a evolutionary language.
From jousting to hockey to fighting.
Kind of
in the
like
street.
the deluge is called the deluge because it was originally called the ludi luge. It is ludi is like a fight, a battle, combat. That's the Latin word for like what gladiators did. They had ludi. They did battles. Luge.
Way less.
Luge is to sled.
Yes, the luge.
So the ludi luge is what it used to be called way back in like when they started this in Frost Timber, but over time it has become shortened to be called the deluge. And it is you luge down the hill, first two teams into the arena face off, and the winner stands above all.
Okay.
Are the Gen Alpha and like Gen Z kids of the Frost Timbers calling it the Delulu?
Probably.
Instead of the Deluge?
Did you see the deluge? That was Lulu.
14 to hit.
14. You bring the shield in, feeling your moment to topple your brother and finally show him what you're worth. And he quickly brings up a broadsword and parries it. And did you roll with hope or fear?
Hope.
Excellent. You gain a hope. I'm going to spend a fear as your brother's going to strike back. 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Uh-oh.
And I think as this strike comes down and you try to bring up the shield to block it, that's 7 points of damage. Your brother, who you've probably sparred with a couple of times, but he does most of his serious training with Roop. Compared to Flavian, he's on another level. This dude hits hard when it is actual game time.
Wait, at the damage threshold, it moves to the next one, right? Or is it 7 and below would be minor?
At the threshold is when it moves up.
Moves up. Okay, that's what I think. So again, I think I'm gonna mark another armor.
How much do you have?
4.
Armor is their class's whole deal.
And at this point, I'm going to spend 3 hope to clear 2 armor slots. So I think that when he strikes down with that broadsword, it does like glance off of me, and I look down and I like brush it off and I like tighten the straps.
Hell yeah. I think you like tighten it as you're doing a roll away from that hit, so it's like didn't quite hit with as much force as it could have if you were just standing there. And like as you roll, you tighten, get back to your feet. That's gonna be back to you.
Trying to hit him.
Go for it.
What? 23. No, 22.
22 hits for sure.
10 damage.
Nice. That was with hope.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm gonna spin to fear, and he's gonna strike out at you again. Did I say he had a broadsword? I meant to say he had a mace.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's a natural 1.
I shocked him.
Yeah, he's surprised at the fight that you're putting up for sure. I think in his mind there's like this moment unseen to you and to everyone where there's like a moment where he swings down with the mace. You like glide away from it and tighten your armor straps, get back up, and as you're charging back, he swings down at you and you step to the side as he slams his mace into the ground. And I think he's just like feeling this welling up of like pride as he looks and is like following you and is going in for another attack.
I think I'm gonna strike first.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god, I'm rolling so well all of a sudden. So that's 20 to hit.
That hits.
Hope.
Hell yeah. Mark your hope.
You can't.
And
I've still got 2 fear to spend.
I want to do the forceful push now since I did a success with hope, so I can add a d6 to the damage roll.
Hell yeah.
That's an 11.
11.
That also adds to the damage, so that's actually 15.
15 damage.
Yes, my unstoppable die is now done though.
As you feel yourself getting winded from the battle, you go in for this.
I also want to spend a hope to make him vulnerable. So it's temporarily vulnerable.
Not even necessary.
Okay. Oh,
As he only had 2 hit points left, that was well over his severe threshold. What does it look like as you bloody your eldest brother Benoit Valar in the Deluge match?
I think that he's getting ready to strike, and I use that moment to like very quickly just pop him in the face with the edge of the shield. And in that like time kind of slows down, and there's just like a single drop of blood from his nose onto the snow, just bright red.
Hell yeah.
And there's just this like shock and like unexpected feeling of like, I did it.
Yeah, and as you're having that feeling, a horn bellows and the crowd erupts with cheers. More attendants come out. Benoit hands off his blade, rushes over and hugs you. Rudy. Yeah, Roop comes out as well, and they all like lift you into the air. The crowd is cheering your name. You see, as just in front of the Council of Elders, a human man stands up. Pretty portly guy who's bald on top with like a ring of thin, wavy black hair that just kind of like wisps out around the sides and back of his head. You recognize instantly, due to your parents' involvement in the council and the government of Frost Timber. This is Chancellor Zenith of Frost Timber. He is the Chancellor of Trove, who was appointed as the ruler of Frost Timber by the Forged King. He stands and holds a thin wand to his throat and kind of like pokes his second chin in a little bit as his voice bellows loud enough for the entire arena to hear. Congratulations to our winners! And he like turns and removes the wand for a second and speaks to an elder, and he's like, Rupendre and Balrudric Valar! Like he just didn't remember y'all's names.
Like bright stars in my eyes. I'm like, this is what my whole life will be like.
It is my elite pleasure to announce the boon of this season's Deluge tourney. A spot as royal guests of honor at this year's Carnaval de Trove. And there's like oohs and ahs through the crowd. You and your chosen retinue shall grace the grand and ancient Parade de la Victoire, and of course, a seat in the Forged King's banquet halls for the grand feast. There's another cheer, the crowd goes wild. What is Rudy feeling in this moment?
Extreme pride and joy. I knew it. I'm a hero.
As smoke once again trails from your nostrils, and you are lifted, hoisted up into the air by your brothers, and carried over to your mother and father, who your father was sitting on the council. But as the arena sort of starts to die down, he comes over and they all envelop you in a big hug as you feel the most pride you have ever experienced. Our vision once again heads south, south, and south again. The walls of Bastion's workshop grow stifling. Seraph comes to visit today, and you get this odd sense whenever they come near. There's like this sort of static electricity that you can feel in the air around them almost as they approach. Good morning, Errant.
Good morning.
How are you feeling today?
Fine.
Excellent. This is a great way to feel. Now, shall we continue with our magic lessons?
Of course.
Wonderful. They lead you over to this open area of the workshop that's been opened up and kind of like walled off. There are shelves with various metal parts of different contraptions that are stacked up to kind of like block off this space. Now, stand tall and feel the mana of your core. As we've talked and practiced before, channel that energy with a clear image in your mind of how you would like it to manifest, and then meet your energy and your will and push them out as one into the world. Give it a try. And he walks over and grabs a couple of empty cans of oil and sets them up on this small table. Try moving these cans. Just a gentle push. Remember, will and energy is one.
So I'm trying to move them from, like, not touching them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll try.
Excellent. Go ahead and make a magic roll.
See them die.
Using your spell casting ability, which I believe is
Instinct.
instinct. Excellent. So yeah, this will be an instinct roll.
So I roll both?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 14 with fear.
14 with fear. Interesting. Have you chosen your domain cards yet?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see them?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I've got the hand rune as well.
Go ahead and
Great.
roll me 3d10.
I don't know. What's he doing? I don't trust
That's
this.
a lot of D10.
No.
Yeah, get that little guy in there.
This is how many magic missiles you're shooting at once.
How many heads you're exploding?
14.
As Seraph is like, just a gentle push. Your eyes dim as you focus on, and you can feel the mana swirling in your core. And you think about a gentle push, and you feel as the mana channels from your chest down through your shoulders, past your elbows, into your outstretched hands. And you are blown back as you use your Unleash Chaos for the first time. As there's a spark of that bluish energy, and you swear you feel as the corrosion creeps a little bit further along your hand. There's a massive explosion. The cans blast into the wall and then through the wall, which opens to the street. You see a couple of clanks outside tumble end over end as you stand there, hands out. There's a moment where Seraph is like, I see.
Too much?
Too much.
Too much.
Too much. There's like a moment as you're both starting to process. Seraph comes over and they're like, "Aaron, are you all right? Did it hurt you?" Kind of like help you back up to your feet, and they look over where they know that your areas of corrosion are. And do you think it's visible how much it's spread from that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely starting to, patina around my right hand.
Yeah, and as Seraph kind of like holds your hand out, they're like looking over to make sure that you're not injured. They're investigating all of this, and both of you are caught off guard as you hear a voice call out from behind.
You there!
You see a Clank who's like lifting himself up off of the ground and like dusting stone and like bits of scrap metal that have like cut holes in his cloak as he's like brushing them off. And as he stands tall, you see the emblem of the golden anvil on his chest, which you know from your studies to be, this is not a Clank who is of Aethra. This is a Clank from Trove, who was sent here to act as a magister. He steps inside as Seraph stands in front of you and walks forward, and he's like, my apologies. We've just had a little bit of an accident with an experiment that we were working on. And he like steps forward and looks around.
You there?
Hello.
What is your designation?
Errant?
Errant.
And you see he like pauses for a moment in thought before he's like,
Unauthorized life form detected.
and like turns to Seraph.
I'm supposed to be here.
Make a presence roll with disadvantage. So subtract a d6 from this.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
It's gonna be a difficulty of 18.
That'd be 15, 9.
You say this, and he turns to look at Seraph, and he's like,
Were you involved in the creation of this aberrant creature?
he's like, And Seraph holds his hands out, presses them on the chest of this Magister Knight, and he blasts back out through the hole of the wall. He quickly turns to you and he's like, we're moving things ahead of schedule. Follow me, and takes you by the wrist and rushes out into the street. The city is vibrant and brimming with activity. There are Clanks of all shapes and sizes going about their days.
I'm looking around very
it
intently.
is magnificent to behold. And very quickly, because you are already
what's that?
on the outskirts,
Focus.
yeah, there's a few times where you like stop and are like watching his cogs are turning and making various like machines move in different ways. Seraph grabs your hand and pulls you along even further.
Buddy, lock in.
Kelly.
You round a corner and there's another couple of blasts of magic that scatter across the ground as you see more guards stepping out. And just as they step forward, and one of them, their hand is glowing red hot as they're about to reach out and try and grab Seraph. From around the corners, you see Bastion and Reverie appear and like lift the hands up, and one of them, Bastion grabs some of the guards and just like throws them over the edge of the city itself. You're like walking along the side of the mesa, and you can hear the, unfortunately, clank of his body as it hits the stone at the bottom. Reverie grabs the other one, is just like holding him back as Bastion comes over and tries to help. Seraph keeps running. Bastion looks back and he yells,
Seraph! To the lift! Ready or not, his purpose begins now!
And Seraph nods and grabs your hand. You run through the city to a small lift. It looks very makeshift. You would have expected something much larger. You're not sure if this is like an official lift of Aethra or if this is one that your parents have been working on in preparation for something like this. Seraph puts you on the lift and grabs you by the shoulders. Head north to the grand city of Galena. Charter a ship to Trove. Investigate the visitor known to the Clanks as Lady Truth. It was shortly after her visit to Aethra and their annexation into the Forged Empire that the corrosion began to spread to Aethra's core. Find Lady Truth. She will have the answers. We can only hope. Galena first. Ship to Trove. Do you understand?
Yes.
He steps back, pulls a lever.
Will I see you again?
He like stands and turns and looks over his shoulder, and he's like, we can only hope. As the lift begins to lower and hits certain areas where it stops, he waves as the lift like stops, pivots and starts going horizontal, and then stops again, starts going vertical. As eventually you find yourself alone, and the mesas that you've looked at from on high for so long tower over you as sand blows and buffets around you, which you can hear the clank of little stones and pebbles bouncing off of you, not doing any damage, but just in this very rough environment. What do you do?
I guess first time being outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've read about how the sun orbits around the world and or whatever, the opposite. Yeah.
You know,
It's small.
I'm going to
Yeah.
look
Tiny
up,
sun.
find the sun, and try to get bearing on north.
Yeah, make an instinct roll.
18 with hope.
Hell yeah. Gain a hope, mark that on your sheet.
Cool.
18 is great. You find the sun, you see which of the 3 moons is out during the day, and you know that you like do some quick calculus that I can't do, but you can because you were built to.
Yeah.
Do some quick calculus and know that, okay, that's west, which means that's north. And north to Galena was the instruction.
Does it look like they're still trying to come after me, or?
You can hear commotion up above. You can hear the continued blasts. You see as the lift is settling on the ground and you're doing this calculus, you hear another loud crash as you see, luckily not one of your parents, but another one of the guards hits the ground next to you. And there's a couple moments where it sparks and twitches before pulling itself up, and it's reaching out trying to grab you, but is heavily damaged.
I'll kind of bounce on my legs a little bit and take off.
Hell yeah.
How's this? I've never run before.
Yeah, just as it reaches out and it's aberration. Its voice is clicking and skipping. It reaches out to grab you and you bolt off into the desert. You can move very quickly, actually. I think you're surprised at how much joy there is in running, even though there is so much fear in this situation, as you find yourself dashing off into the desert. Our vision pulls up from the desert and once again heads to the west, across the sea, through the Whispering Wood, and into the caves of Grotazan. Orange and yellow crystals and mushrooms dim to blues and violets as night falls within Grotazan. As you enter the small cave where the cottage lies, you can see the cottage windows are already glowing with a warm firelight as Sprue returns home.
I'm gonna hand her the knife.
Ah, excellent. Did you get everything? The scroll, the dagger, and the bag?
Scroll.
Good, good, good.
Bag.
There was a...
Bag.
Oh, my goodness. Next time,
And then-
I'm going with you.
And then he said very specifically. Wrote it down. And I've been looking at it the whole time. I do with sanctity my duty once more. The rest is in her hands.
Excellent work. She takes your takes your hand, spits on a cloth, and wipes it off. She's like,
I am very proud of you.
Thank you.
Making it and remembering it all that way.
It was like a 15-minute walk.
Yes, yes, I know. It's not that much of a hike. But when you get to my age, Sprue, you're 18 now.
Okay.
Practically a woman grown. And I won't
Sure, if you're
always be around.
Why?
Well, you see, as people age, eventually they pass away. It's the natural flow of time.
I don't think you should do that.
I don't think I want to either, but sometimes, certainly, I feel ready for it. But not quite yet.
Okay, good.
What's important
Don't
is,
do that.
someday I won't be around. In my family, we have a tradition where we pass knowledge down the generations. Now, I know that knowledge isn't your strong suit, but... And you may not be my blood, but you are my daughter nonetheless. It's time I teach you of the Paragon Arms. And Granny Rivet opens the scroll, and you can see as she unfurls it, there's really delicate, small handwriting in a lot of areas. There's runes you don't recognize. There's circles and lines connecting the circles. And she places the dagger in the center on one that has a 6-pointed star. She closes her eyes and quietly begins uttering words as you see the paper begins to glow with this vibrant golden hue. She speaks, and as she does, and the paper begins to glow, the dagger itself begins to hover for a moment
before she opens her eyes and looks into yours. Now, draw your thumb across the blade, gently, so it won't take too much. You do so. It hurts as it cuts you, and you watch as a little rivulet of blood drops onto the blade and begins bleeding across it. Like as it spreads, it blackens and creates these beautiful little striations along the blade itself. Almost like matches the spalted hilt as it sets in. She whispers a few more words before it slowly lowers itself onto the paper, which she then rolls up the scroll, sheathes the dagger, and hands it to you. One part of the ritual remains. I pray by the dread gods that you never need completed. You see, when a paragon blade is used to take a life, large or small, its soul is then tied to the blade itself. An aspect of that being manifests in the blade and becomes nearly indestructible. My family is one of the last in trove with the knowledge to forge the paragon blades. And now I pass that knowledge on to you. And she puts the scroll back in its case and hands it to you. I know the words seem small, but we've worked on all of the runes. This is their application. It is important that you do not create things of this nature for anyone who asks. These are potentially dangerous in the wrong hands and can only be given to those we trust. Do you understand?
Are there more of these?
A few, but not many.
Do you know where?
Most of them are in Trove, my homeland. There's only 2 more families outside of mine that know how to create the blades. And only with a skilled forger from Grotazan combining the ores can one be created. Sometimes they're called half gold, is what people like to call them in Trove sometimes. But before she can continue, there's a heavy knock at the door, and a loud voice calls out.
Magister Knights, on behalf of Chancellor Rancor of Grotazan, you have been accused of harboring an enemy of the Forged Crown. Open up.
And there's more bangs at the door. Granny Rivet turns and looks at the door, kind of like startled at the noise at first, before looking back to you. And instead of like worry and what you would expect to see, like a lot of fear and like anxiety rolling over her, she looks and there's just this sort of like sorrow in her eyes as she gives you a warm smile. And she presses the dagger and scroll into your hands, and she's like, I'm afraid you must go, young lady. If you travel east to the city of Galena, you can chart a passage to Trove. The trek will not be easy, but I have faith in your magics. And if you ever get in a pinch, just open that bag and ask for advice. There will be those that would see you, the banging continues on the door. She kind of like hurries along. There will be those that would see you captured or worse. There will also be those sympathetic to your circumstance. I trust that you will find them. Those who are worthy. Lady Jubilance. Tell her that Lady Nell did not fall in battle at the Whisperwood. Shit. She walks over and starts writing this down on a scroll for you. Just give her this. Don't lose this. Tell Lady Jubilance, Lady Nell did not fall in battle at the Whisperwood. She'll keep you safe. Now, out the back with you. Go.
I don't want to.
I'm afraid you must. And she walks over and to the herb shelf that you guys use for dinner every night and moves a couple of the things that are there and presses on a back panel and it clicks and a secret passage that you were never aware of slides to the side. As she reaches in, and just inside you see there's wrap of cloth that's like maybe like a half a walking stick high. She grabs that and it's like comes over and like ushers you into it. And she's like, remember, east to the Galena. It's a grand city. You can't miss it. Literally, you can't miss it. It's huge. East, straight out from the cave. I believe in you. And she gives you a little kiss on your forehead and closes the passage behind you. As she closes it, you hear a little click as it locks in place. Do you go on immediately? You can kind of like see through the cracks a little bit, or do you hang back?
If I hang back, I'll forget. So I'll just go.
Okay. What Sprue doesn't see as she moves through the small channel out the back is as Granny Rivet, or Lady Nell, opens the door. And you do hear over your shoulder as she calls out,
I'm the witch you're looking for.
and you don't see as she draws a paragon blade of her own from within the staff. And for the first time in many, many years, taps into her war magic. As you flee from the cave out through the small trickle of light where you can see the three moons as they're traveling in all different directions overhead, and you hear the whispering of the trees as the wind rustles through them as you begin making your way east toward Galena. And that's where we're going to end this episode of Forged Empire.
Before we even meet up.
Perhaps we'll meet in Galena, perhaps we'll meet in Trove.
We'll see.
Chaos!
Chaos!
Are you okay?
No. I was like, we're missing our tissues.
Oh no.
We don't
I-
have the tape.
I did grab some of these, just in case I spilled or needed some for some reason.
Oh, that was a big episode.
Yeah.
Garbage.
This might be,
going
it's crazy. I think I sent you guys a message about this, but wild the amount of, or the difference in the amount of prep needed when you start with an inciting incident and everybody's in the same place versus everybody's in a different spot in the world.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I love it because I'm here for the epic adventure.
I'm here for a good time and a long time.
Yeah. Hell yeah, what do you guys think so far?
I'm liking what's happening.
Yep.
There were uppies, there were downies. We got fucking spy movie over here.